I try to wake up every morning with an attitude of gratitude. I'm focused on that day, on that process, on that truck. I can't start thinking about what happened last week and what's going to happen later on. Maybe I just got to be grateful for the day that I've been given and focus on that.
Welcome to Six Figure Trucker, the podcast where we share advice on how to be successful in trucking and have fun while doing so. We'll share stories, news, and advice on how to earn six figures in trucking, and we'll speak to guys and gals that are already doing so. Let's get to the show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Six Figure Trucker, brought to you by Norton Transport. This is a venue, a place where we elevate and celebrate the drivers who make the world go round. And, of course, here at Norton Transport, we move the trucks that move the cargo eventually. And tonight we have a very special guest, Terrell Brickerson. And I want to start right off the top with a big shout-out and a big thank you. We had a situation, some adversity that we ran into on the truck in which Terrell delivered, but he came through with shining stars, was a great outlook, great attitude. I heard from the customer today. Customer was very pleased, very impressed by Terrell's professionalism. And Terrell, we just want to say thank you and thanks for joining us tonight. How are you?
All right. How you doing, John?
Doing great, Terrell. Doing great. Tell us a little bit about that. I mean, I think you knew some of the situation you were getting into with the load you picked up, but you made the difference with your attitude and outlook. How important is that to you when you do your daily job?
Oh, it's very important. I try to wake up every morning with an attitude of gratitude. I'm very grateful for the opportunity that Norton has given me, and it to be, in this field. I've been doing this now about 21 years now.
Wow, did you say 21 years?
21 years driving commercial vehicles.
How did you get into it?
I got employed back in 2002. I had a situation with one of my jobs. They were downsizing due to, the economy, and I got laid off. And someone told me about driving a school bus. I was like, a school bus? I don't know. It's kind of big. And so, I went down there, applied, and in 3 weeks of training, I was a school bus driver.
Oh, wow. This was back in the early 2000s?
Yeah, this was 2002.
What was it like driving a school bus back in 2002?
It was actually cool. I did it for about 5 years, so it wasn't that bad. I mean, once you got used to the size and, and the kids, they took the longest to get used to, so it wasn't the driver.
I got you.
It was the kids.
Talk about the kids. Did you transport all age ranges there?
Yeah, K through 12th grade.
Did that help you later in your career as far as developing and fine-tuning your patience?
Definitely, because you got to have a lot of patience to be a school bus driver, because you got like over 100-something kids, and everybody has different personalities. And so it's like you got to adjust for every last person, But it worked out.
Gotcha. So you did that for about 5 years, and I wanted to back up just a little bit before we get into too much of your career behind the wheel. And I, again, wanted to thank you for giving us a solid here today and yesterday on this truck you delivered. I guess from working in the business, as this being your career, that it's a give and take business.
Yes, it is. You got to expect the unexpected. It's not, every day's not going to be the same. Some days it's real smooth, and like today, like we mentioned, with the trucks. The truck said, hey, I don't want to do anything today. You're going to have to make me drive. And well, I had to do that. I turned off for like an hour and then started back up. And it was a slow process, but we got here.
Yeah. Is that kids I hear screaming behind you?
Yeah, I'm at the Florida Mall in Orlando.
Okay.
One of the biggest malls here. Yeah.
I got you. Yeah, well, that truck we were talking about got you to Orlando. And I got to say, for everybody who hears this, Terrell Brickerson drove a truck for us, had some issues with the truck. The truck presented some problems. But when I talked to Terrell, his outlook was perfect. It was great. You never would have known anything was going on. I subsequently talked to the customer. They were very grateful that Terrell was behind the wheel, particularly with the situation that came up. And you talked about an attitude of gratitude. How has that helped you in your 21-year career?
Oh, it helped out tremendously. Like I say, when I wake up in the morning, I'm focused on that day, on that project, on that trust. I can't start thinking about what happened last week and what's going to happen later on. Maybe I just got to be grateful for the day that I've been given and focus on that.
Now, did the business give you that attitude? Did you develop it? Is it part of your personality? Were you born with it? How did you have such a spirit about you where, life is going to give you what you get, and it's up to you how you deal with it? Did you develop that, or is that something inherent?
I would say I developed it. Growing up in Detroit, Michigan, especially with my background, we went from not having enough, and then when I got into my early adult years, just enough, and to where I'm at right now is more than enough. And so I definitely would say it was developed.
That's very well said. Not enough, just enough, and more than enough. How has that changed your outlook, I guess, on life in general, to see the progression of where, when you were in Detroit, if I understand right, you were trying to put pieces together to make ends meet, and then things started working out for you. I guess that's, the attitude of gratitude. You're certainly a grateful person now.
Oh, yeah, I'm forever grateful for, all the lessons, the hardship, the blessings. So like I said, I never saw myself doing anything like this. Growing up in Detroit, you see a lot of different things. And some things we're not supposed to see. I wanted something different for my life. And so, when I moved to Columbus, Ohio, they gave me that start. I got around, positive people, and the change that started happening for me.
If you're comfortable talking about it, tell us some of the adversity you saw and lived through in Detroit.
Oh man, you name it, I saw it, and if I didn't see it, I experienced some of it. It's very rough. I mean, I'm sure you heard it's not a lot of jobs, and then the jobs they do have, you might have a million people applying for 100 jobs, and so a real good job. And so that was mainly the main issue, not having the resources and the money to be able to live a good life.
You're listening to Terrell Brickerson here on the Six Figure Trucker, brought to you by Norton Transport. Terrell, we've heard a little bit about your life there. How old are you? We know you've been driving for 21 years, so I got a sort of a gauge of how old you may be, but how old are you, Terrell?
I will be 49 this year in December. So I'm 48.
49 and holding, man. Not yet, but 49 and holding, upcoming. You've obviously, from what we've discussed so far, you've obviously got a great outlook on life. Let's back up a little bit and go back to those days driving the school bus and how that built the patience within you and developed your core there as far as interacting with all the children. How much has that influenced when you get into situations like you just got into today? Did that help you? Do you draw back from that?
Yeah, you definitely can, because, it was days that I went to work driving school bus. I'm like, you didn't know what you was getting. My very first day driving school bus, I had to break up a fight. I'm on the freeway and they're fighting. And I'm like, wait a minute, is this what the car straight's going to look like?
So I didn't sign up for this.
Yeah, I'm driving and trying to control the kids. I was like, oh, I'm not going to make it. And so a day like today, it's like, okay, I made it to Florida. I'm not going to worry about it.
So if I remember correctly from what you told me earlier today, the speedometer didn't work on this. So you were driving literally going with the flow.
Yeah, pretty much. It would go from 0 to 85 and just ping pong back and forth. And then, the the engine would stall, and then we go down to 10 miles and 20 miles. So I stayed in that right lane and kept my four ways on. And when it stalled and looked really slow, I would just get over into, onto the side, they cars pass, whatever, and then it'll build back up.
And this was a big truck, a really big truck.
Yeah, one of those hydrovac trucks.
Big Western Star truck there. Now, you've driven, like we were talking about, hydrovac school buses. What's the craziest thing you've ever driven as far as, I don't know if I can drive that, but you ended up driving it anyway?
The craziest? I don't know. I'm on the street. This spider's been there. I've never driven anything like this. And then the week before that, I had a dump truck. I mean, it handles pretty well, but it was kind of bumpy.
Right.
Most of the rides I've had, pretty smooth. Like when I drove motor coaches, they're really smooth. It's like driving a Cadillac.
Now, were these high-end motor coaches and RVs that you drove?
Yeah, I drove Prevost, buses, and MCI.
Now, is that kind of like being on vacation and getting paid for it?
Oh, yeah. That was the best job I ever had, John.
I bet.
I love that job.
How long did you have that gig?
I worked there about 3 years until COVID.
Oh, okay.
And I lost being COVID.
So I'm assuming that before COVID hit, when you were driving those motor coaches and RVs, you got to see some nice countryside.
Oh my God, did I? We went a lot of nice places. Like they had this one work ticket called Trails West. It started in Niagara Falls, Canada, and it ended in Las Vegas. And man, it was really nice. And any activities that the customers did, you got a ticket too. So if they went to Blue Man Group or stayed at 5-star hotels and different stuff like that, you got involved. So you didn't have to sit on the bus or be in the hotel. They like, no, you going inside with them.
Oh, okay. So you were not just transporting motor coaches; you were transporting people on the motor coaches. So you were like as you were saying earlier, very similar to a school bus driver, except you had adult passengers now.
Yeah. Yep.
So what was the coolest thing? I mean, you were talking about Trails West, going from Niagara Falls down to Vegas. Was that the one that really strikes a memory for you as far as something you'll never forget?
No, it was actually one. They had a work ticket with Amtrak, and we stayed in New York for 2 months, and we would transport people from Long Island, New York, to Manhattan, New York, and it was just you worked 2 hours a day, and then that was it. The rest of the day was yours. So we parked the bus downtown Manhattan, and we just walk around or get on the subway, go to different girls and eat nice food, and it was cool. I got to meet Dave Chappelle.
Oh wow!
And, yeah, he was real cool. And met a couple rappers, famous rappers, and it was really cool.
Now, Dave Chappelle. Let's drill down on Dave Chappelle. Is he as funny in person as he is in his stand-up, or is he kind of laid back, doesn't want to be bothered with the crowd? What's he like in person?
Let's see. When I saw him coming out the hotel, at first I'm like, okay, that's not Dave Chappelle. And then all these different people start coming up to him and taking pictures of him. I said, that is Dave Chappelle. And of course, he lives in Yellow Springs, Ohio, so he had, a Buckeye shirt on. So I'm like, okay, this is my chance. I'm gonna go ahead and, say something to him. But he was real cool. As I walked up to him, he put his arm around me and just real chill, laid back. I was like, wow, super cool.
That's too cool because he is one funny dude.
Yeah.
He reminds me sort of a modern day version, continuation, if you will, of Richard Pryor, where he would, he would cut that social edge there and hit some social conscious issues.
Yeah, he does. I like it. I really like Dave still.
Cool. Now, I wanted to ask you a little bit, what's the pros and the cons of transporting people versus transporting just trucks?
Well, when you're doing the truck, you don't have any issues with people.
Sure.
because somebody wants the air on, somebody wants the air off. Well, with the school kids, they don't want to sit next to this person, you know. But then there's times when you're driving and you just like, man, I would like to talk to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And so it gets kind of lonely when you're out there, and plus you get your family back home. So that's kind of the cons of driving a truck. You by yourself. And sometimes that's good, sometimes you clear your mind.
Right. You just gotta go with the flow, like you said earlier today.
Yeah, just go with the flow.
Now, you and I talked a couple nights ago about preparation leading into this transport you just completed, and you've got another side job that you do in addition to transporting trucks. Tell us about that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so when I'm home, I drive limos on the weekend, and I would do that job for free. It's pure entertainment. Oh my God.
Now, you had just this week, you had a couple of responsibilities, a couple of jobs you did. Tell us about what happened just this week here in mid-April.
Oh, this last job I just had?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, it was nice. I had a bus full of ladies, and they were having a good old time back there. And,
do tell.
Yeah, they were dancing, and they were taking their shoes off, and they had a great old time back there. I said, wow, this is the best job ever. Yeah, I mean, just watching it on camera, I have a camera up front with me, 'cause when I go to make my turns, I have to see,
what's going on there.
Make sure nobody, falls over. And so, yeah, they had a great time. Nothing like my very first day. My very first day driving the limo. But it still was time.
Tell us about that first day.
Oh, that first day, clothes came off.
Oh, you're not kidding.
I mean, it was crazy. I was like, wait a minute, I know I'm not doing this. But yeah, about 4 women was in there completely, and they looked at me, and I'm like, oh, wow. Okay, is this what limo drivers going to be like?
How was it to keep your focus on the road when that's going on behind you?
I made sure I stopped at every red light, but I was able to focus, though.
How long ago was that?
Oh, that was 2 years ago. Yeah, that was 2 years ago.
So what happened 2 years ago versus what happened this week? Quite a scale of difference there, but you were saying, now this week, was this a wedding, a bachelorette party, just a birthday party? What was the situation there?
Oh, this was just girls hanging out. Yeah, just girls hanging out. They went to one of those burlesque shows.
Oh, okay, girls' night out.
Yeah, they were just hanging out.
Now, I was going to ask you what's the craziest thing you've ever seen, but I guess you probably just laid it out there. I'm sure you've seen some other bizarre things happen in your limo.
Yeah, you see some things. A lot of face plants. People want to practice gymnastics for some reason on the limo bus. I don't know why. I mean, you're intoxicated. Why you want to try to do a backflip on the bars in there? I'm like, I don't get it.
People get crazy when they get in a limo there.
Yeah, a lot of crying, a lot of hugging. You got the drunk that, that gets drunk and want to hug. You got the ones that want to cry, and the ones that want to, argue, fight. So, yeah.
You just roll with the punches, huh?
I just roll with it. Yeah.
Now, tell us a little bit about in the limo business that you've been in. How long have you been doing that as far as driving on the weekends?
About 2 years now.
Okay, yeah,
Yep.
you'd said that the first early on there, people taking their clothes off there early in trial by fire right there.
Yeah.
But what I was going to was when you were doing the motor coaches and the RVs there, the high end, you were able to participate in the fun activities with the crowd. And that you had mentioned to me when you and I had talked on the phone a couple nights ago, that is carried over into the business with the limo. Sometimes they invite you to the party.
Oh yeah, they take care of their driving, and that's why I like it. doing the traveling. I've had a few rappers. I had a lot of OSU football players that went to the NFL. I got one, matter of fact, next week one, and they take care of the guys.
So he's going to be back in Columbus, and I'm assuming he and his buddies want to go out for the night.
Yeah, they're going to go hang out. A lot of them come back home and spend some time. Some OSU players that still live in Columbus. They just hang out or go to different, clubs, different bars and restaurants, stuff like that.
Now, you and I were talking. You're not a sports fan. That's got to be weird hanging out in a town like Columbus, Ohio, not being a sports fan.
Yeah, I'm not into college sports. I like the UFC, cage fighting.
Okay.
Which is totally different from what I am.
Any fighters in particular that you gravitate toward?
Yeah, I like. I don't know if you ever heard of Israel Adesanya.
Okay.
I like him. I like, of course, Anderson Silva. Yeah, the Diaz brothers. Yeah, a lot of the fighters I really used to like, they retired now. Okay. I don't know a lot of the new guys.
Well, you're listening to Terrell Brickerson here on the Six Figure Trucker, brought to you by Norton Transport. And Terrell is right now in Orlando, and I think as he joins us, he is in a shopping mall or a food court. Is that right, Terrell?
Yeah, this is the Florida Mall. Let's see, the biggest mall in Orlando.
And what's the weather like down there right now in mid-April?
Oh, my God. I think it's, 88 today?
Wow. So you're seeing a lot of heat there. But you got to get out of there. What's up next for you? What's in store for you after today?
Well, my flight leaves tomorrow at 6 in the morning. Get back to Ohio about 8:30, 8:50, something like that. And then I'll rest up, and then I got 2 limo runs tomorrow.
You got 2 limo runs tomorrow?
Yep. I got a 4 to 7, and then I got an 8:30 to 2:30 in the morning.
Oh, wow. You stay pretty busy from what I gather.
I try to, and it seems like it's not enough hours and days in the week for me.
How many hours a week do you work? I mean, on the road for us here at Norton Transport and doing the limo, how many hours do you think you put in a week?
Ooh, let's see. Maybe 60. I want to say about 60 hours.
But I'm guessing you like it that way.
Yeah, I like staying busy. I'll go crazy. It's only so much internet and TV I can do at home.
Right.
It's like, once I'm at home, I'm ready to come back on the road.
You like to stay active.
I'm ready to come back home. But he is.
Now, you had mentioned family earlier. Any family for you?
Yes. My wife, Desiree, and my 2 daughters, Simone and Nakia.
How old are the daughters?
28 and 20.
28 and 20. Now, are they out on their own, or do you see them on a day-to-day, or how does that work out?
Well, my oldest daughter, she's actually a truck driver, and she drives for truck movers.
Oh, okay.
So she does the same thing I'm doing now. My youngest daughter is getting ready to move to Bolivia.
Oh, wow. Wow, that's cool. Now, I wanted to talk about your daughter that's a truck driver. Did she fall into her father's footsteps? And is that how it came about?
Yeah, which totally shocked me. I didn't see that coming because, she was doing some other things, with heating and cooling. I wasn't expecting it.
How long has she been driving?
She been driving about 2 years now.
Did she dig it like you dig it?
Oh, she loves it. And she took it a step further than I did. But she does the decking.
Oh, my. So she's doing well. She's doing well.
She's doing real well. And so it was like the first year she was a company driver. And then about, 6 months after that, she did the lease operator. And then now she's doing truck movies with the decking.
We need to get her over here to Norton Transport.
I know. I've been trying to tell her, come on over here. Yeah.
You need to get her over here. Let's talk about your other daughter. Is she already overseas, or is that on the radar?
Yeah, we're working on that now. I guess you could say that's why I'm working so hard. So we're working on that now. She already has an apartment. She's already made some friends over there because she's been over there quite a few times. And we're just getting everything together. She leaves, what is that, June? Second week of June.
Is she studying abroad?
She's going there to do the ministry, but he's fluent in Spanish. So he's going to go over there and teach English, too.
Okay. So she's doing some ministry work in Bolivia, and she's bilingual?
Yeah. 3 different languages.
Oh, wow. Wow. What's her third language?
She also speaks a little bit of Korean and Mandarin Chinese.
Oh, wow. That makes her very employable when she's got that kind of skill set.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know how she does it, but she loves language. And yeah, I couldn't ask for a better. My 2 daughters, I couldn't ask for better daughters, man. They just awesome. Nothing like their dad was.
They mean, from what I gather, they mean the world to you.
Oh my God, yes they do. They are my everything.
And wanted to ask you about her ministry. What's her ministry geared toward?
She's a Jehovah's Witness, and so she's trying to go where the need is great.
I gotcha. And it's led her to Bolivia.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Have a big need in it.
Now, what's it like? I mean, you've been driving for so long, 21 years on the road, and you've got two daughters, 2 lovely daughters, and your wife Desiree. What was it like? The component, the dynamic, if you will, of being away from them for so much when you're on the road?
Yeah, that's why I left. Well, actually, let me start. In 2008 is when I got my Class A license. And so I went over the road for about a year and a half. And then they were real small then. You know, they were like 2 and 9. And I was like, yo, I got to come back to this another time. So that's why I'm just now getting back into it. You know, I left in 2009, and I'm just not coming back.
Okay. What'd you do in that period in between?
Oh, that's when it was the school bus and the I also drove transit bus.
I got you.
City bus.
Now, how long have you been with Norton? I'm adding it up here. I think I know, but want to hear it straight from you.
I want to say February of this year.
Okay.
Yeah, February this is when I first took the women out.
I hope we've treated you right.
Yeah, they have. You guys have.
Now, tell us a little bit about your relationship with your dispatcher. I believe Courtney is your dispatcher?
Yeah, Courtney, Kelsey, and Brianna.
Gotcha. What's that like for you? I mean, as far as contact and communication with each of those ladies?
Oh, it's been great. Norton's been great. My dispatchers are great. We constantly call each other. Kelsey calls me every day. Courtney, she checks on me too. Yeah, it's amazing. A great dispatcher. I've only spoke to Brianna a couple times, but she's still cool too. I gather. There's a few conversations, but yeah, I love it. They constantly check on you. Even the days that I'm not under a load, they call me and say, hey, just checking on you. How you doing? Wondering if you're ready to, come back out here. Because, in Ohio, we have a lot of stuff out of, Warville and Chillicothe and, what's the other one? Springfield.
Oh, yeah.
And so, stay busy in Ohio.
How important is that to you personally and professionally to have those dispatchers reaching out to you, even when you're not up on a load? Because as you and I both know, it's an ever-changing business, and it's always, ever-changing in the sense that, your assignment may change from hour to hour, day to day. And how important is it to you to have that kind of contact with them?
Oh, that's very important. Because where you heard all the horror stories about, when you're at a company and you feel like you're just a number and they don't know your name and you don't really talk to your dispatcher, maybe through the Qualcomm. It's not like that. But over here, what I experience, it's a family thing, and that's very important. Because it's like, okay, I know if I go out here alone, I'm gonna have somebody, that's gonna call and check on me, make sure I can, make my flight or, book me a hotel if I'm unable to do so. And, it's just been great. And they've done all those things.
Now, speaking of getting your flight situated, you're flying out in the morning. How much do you try to plan your transports where you're always connecting as far as staying on the road driving, or do you build in a flight here and there? What's the balance there for you?
What I try to do is when I plan everything out, I'll start from the end and work my way all the way back to the beginning. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to end up in Orlando. It's going to take me about a day and a half to get there. Let's go ahead and include breakdown. Let's include traffic, construction. So I won't book my flight on the day of that, I'll do it the next day after. It gives me time to get here, rest up, get something to eat, get to my hotel. If I want to go do some sightseeing, I can. So it's very important for me to plan it all out.
Gotcha. Now, from where you are in Orlando now, are you at a place that's close to your hotel, or are you going to have to Uber over, or are you just on foot tonight?
Yeah, I can walk to my hotel from where I'm at now, and the airport is like 10 minutes away.
How important is it, those kind of logistical details, as far as your lodging, where it is in relationship to the airport, and keeping your costs down? Is that something that's at front of mind for you?
Oh yeah, definitely keep the costs down, because if you're able to get everything situated to where you're in the same area, it definitely cuts your costs down. Like I said, I'm walking to the hotel. I caught an Uber from my drop off, but everything that I need, I made sure in that area, where, close to whether it be close to the Greyhound station, close to the airport, that's very important for me, because it takes up, I don't mind, when I'm driving, I know I'm on, I got to be punctual, but when I'm on my time, I kind of want to just freestyle.
Right.
But in order for me to freestyle, I need to go ahead and work out all of the details before I can just lay back and seals,
I got to ask you this question. You and I both know this from what happened today. A little bit of a curveball. The final destination wasn't where it was intended to be at first because of the situation with the truck. How did that impact where you had already planned to stay? And obviously it didn't impact the flight out, but did you have to change, or was it just a longer Uber ride, or how did that impact you dollars and cents wise?
I didn't impact me at all, because like I said, when I was at home, I actually had the flight scheduled for this Friday in the afternoon. And so it wouldn't have worked. And Trump said, just go ahead and change it for Saturday morning. Don't try to leave out on Friday. And it actually worked, so it's so important to plan ahead. Think about what all could happen. It's not thinking negative, it's thinking as a means of a way out, or like you said, to save some money.
Gotcha.
Because it could have went any kind of other way, and then you're just spending all kinds of money. And so it worked out, because they charge you to change your flight. I mean, they pretty much charge you everything now. So it's like, when you plan ahead, it works out. Trust me.
There are things you can't control and things you can control, which we've heard from a lot of drivers here on the Six Figure Trucker, brought to you by Norton Transport. And Terrell Brickerson certainly has spoken very eloquently about how the things that you can control, you need to. And I wanted to ask you, speaking of things you can control, we're looking at it's getting later in the evening. How do you plan to wind down and get ready for that early flight out tomorrow? What's your schedule of events?
That's it. I'm gonna go ahead and walk to the hotel. I've been to the big old mall and walking around. I am deep. So when I get to the hotel, I'm just gonna shower and put the TV on. It's gonna be a sleep aid for me, and that's it. I'm done. Get up at 4 a.m. and be ready to go again.
Off you go. Now, you've already told us you got 2 jobs lined up when you get back to Columbus tomorrow, Saturday. What about as far as the following week? Are you back on the road in the big trucks the following week?
I'm gonna have to look into that. He called me today and asked me that. I'm definitely gonna see. So like there's a lot of stuff leaving out of Ohio. So I don't know. I have to, like I said, I try to do things at least, one day at a time or 1 week at a time. So next week I haven't even looked into it. I know for the weekend I booked, for the limos, prom season is coming and weddings, different stuff like that. So my weekends are all booked, but during the week I haven't really looked for anything yet.
Now, if you're looking for some downtime between you're driving the trucks and driving the limo, which one are you going to push off? It's like, I'd rather not drive the trucks or I'd rather not drive the limo. Which one it gets the preference?
Oh, I'm going to have to say the limo. Yeah, the limo, because I get to come home and be in my bed.
I got you. There's some benefits to it, and I'm sure the money's good on both accounts there in the trucks and the limos. Now, being in Ohio, you got a lot of launch places you can take off from there, like you named Chillicothe, right there in Columbus, Springfield. Do you try to use that as home base, obviously, to plan your loads out, or will you travel to take the long load?
Oh yeah, it's in the beginning I would just getting out of Ohio, I would take something out of Ohio. But I've seen loads to where I'm like, okay, like I think one in February, I think I flew to Oklahoma and brought it back up to Pennsylvania. So yeah, if I see something, I'll fly out to it. Especially if it's paying well. So not all the time I'll start out in Columbus, but it's different for each load. If I see something on there, I'll catch a flyer, catch the bus, or however. I try to make it. I try to make it fun for myself, and also it's got to be cost effective too.
Gotcha. Now I'm assuming I haven't looked at your load board, but I'm assuming you do a lot out of Chillicothe, because what's that, about hour and 15 from you?
Yeah, about an hour. Yeah, I've done about 4 Chillicothe loads.
I got to ask you this question. You've been doing this for 21 years. You're 48 years old. You got one daughter who's knocking it out in the Driveaway scene already. You got one who's about to go after an ambitious goal on the ministry field and doing the language thing. How long do you see yourself, Terrell, doing the driving?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know, because I'm trying to convince my wife to go back to Belize, but she don't want to move to Belize.
To move back to Belize, did you say?
Yeah, that's where she's from.
Oh, okay. It's a beautiful place. I've actually had the good fortune of being down in Belize. Man, the water and the trees and the greenery of the plants down there, it's amazing.
Yeah, I love it. In July, we normally spend about 30 days down there. And in December, we spend about 15 days.
I'm thinking those 15 in December are just as good as the 30 in the summer.
Yes, they are. It's 85 degrees down there in December.
You kind of feel like you're in Belize right now, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Now, okay, so your wife is from Belize, and I'm assuming that some of her family is still down there, a lot of her family?
Yeah, a lot of their families is still down there, and a lot of them are in California. And they have 2 houses down there, so that's why we down there so much. Just taking care of the family homes and stuff like that, and helping her mom out.
Is it something, I mean, you kind of mentioned it there, alluded to it there. Is Belize in your future as far as maybe more than just in July and December?
Oh, yes, I would love it to live down there. I would absolutely love it. I mean, when I go down there, I'm so much at peace. I mean, it's beautiful. You know, I'm a resident too now. He's a citizen. I'm a resident. And I'm married, so.
I got you.
Yeah, so I'm just a resident now.
What part of Belize are we talking about here?
Oh, they're in Belize City.
Okay.
Yep.
But you guys get out to the coast, I'm assuming?
Yeah, we go out to San Diego. We go to Eat Falcon, the Center. That was real nice. The beaches are nice. The people thing, the squeeze, excellent. Fresh out the water.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
Oh, my God.
So
Yeah.
I have to ask, how did you meet a woman from Belize?
I met my wife in Arizona. I was living in Atlanta, Georgia. And the transit company I was working for, we was out to Arizona because they were having like a strike out there with their with the employees. And they flew my wife out from California to Arizona. And that's how we met.
Oh, that's cool.
So, yeah.
How long did it take after you met her to get to her home country?
Let's see. I met her in 2010. I think we went. Our first time going was in 2015 or 16. Because I ended up moving out to LA.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I ended up moving out.
Now, what does Desiree do while you're on the road there?
Oh, she's a school bus driver.
Oh,
And she
okay.
loved it. Yeah.
So driving's in the family.
Yeah. Now, she when we lived in LA, she worked at Greyhound as a supervisor. But when she came to Ohio, she's a school bus driver because it allows her to have the summers off. That's how they can go down to Belize and help out.
Gotcha. So, of the trucks that you've driven, we talked about some of the experiences you've had. Do you have a favorite type of truck that you drive, or one that you kind of shy away from?
Favorite truck, I'll probably say probably the Freightliner. And the one I would shy away from is that Denver. That is a big deal. I'm like, this is for somebody that's like 7 feet tall. I mean, I could not get adjusted in that thing. I was like, this is too much of a truck.
You know, it's funny that you say that because I've asked that question to other drivers before, and Freightliner comes back. Is it a Cascadia?
Cascadia, yeah.
That must be a nice truck because a lot of drivers say Cascadia is the way to go. We know it's a popular truck. There's a lot of them out there on the road. What separates a Cascadia from some of the other ones?
Cascadia, I don't know. It just has that homey feel. Like when you get in it, it's like, okay, yeah, nice. It's smooth, but not too loose. It's the ride smooth. I just love it. That is a nice truck. I used to like Volvo.
Well, take us inside the cab with you. Let's say you got a long haul. You're going from Columbus to California. Let's say you're going from Columbus to Sacramento. What's the game plan for Terrell as far as, okay, I've got, what is that, a couple thousand miles, somewhere along that line, maybe not quite 2,000, but you're making this long trip. You're going to be on the road for at least 3 days. How do you get yourself in the right frame of mind?
I gotta have my music over anything. Music, and my food. You know, I gotta have food. I gotta have my music, and that we start right there. You know, if I don't have my music, I can't do a dry drive. I call it a dry drive. I gotta have some music going. It sound like a party on there or something. You know, I gotta have some type of music going though.
What's on your playlist when you're making that run from Columbus to Sacramento?
I have a lot of people from my playlist. I have a lot of New Edition, Sade, of course, Michael Jackson, Prince. I'm still in the 80s and 90s.
I got you.
Not a lot of this new stuff. I'm some of it I can listen to, but not all of it. I'm old school. I'm definitely old school.
Boy, Sade's got a smooth voice.
Oh yeah.
And you talk about the talent that Prince has. Wow.
Oh man, unbelievable. I wish I could have saw him in concert.
Same here. I wish I had. I mean, you know, if you only knew now what you knew, I mean, if you knew then what you know now, you would have seen them.
Exactly. Him and Mike. That would have been nice. I just went to a concert recently. I surprised my wife to go see New Edition.
Okay. How were they now? I mean, you know, they're past where they sold all those records, but how were they as far as performance-wise?
Oh, performance. I became a super fan. I mean, they still got it. I mean, Bobby Brown, he's doing a little huffing and puffing with his stuff now. He picked up some weight, but everybody else, oh man, they get down.
Still pretty tight?
Yeah. Oh my God. I love them, man. I've always been a fan of New Edition. When I went to this concert, I was just in awe. I was like, wow. And I bought the tickets real, on the center floor. So I was real close.
Yeah, did you see him in Columbus or somewhere else?
It was in Cincinnati, so I drove to Cincinnati.
I got you. You're listening to Terrell Brickerson here on the Six Figure Trucker, brought to you by Norton Transport. Of course, as you know, if you listen to us, we talk about all kinds of things on here. Terrell, we're going to kind of wind it down. You've given us a lot of insight into life and your philosophy, attitude of gratitude, all the patience you learned driving young school children as a school bus driver, getting to experience some of those moments with people on the motor coaches and RVs, and then later and now in the limos. When you look out there at the Driveaway world, what would be your advice to people who may be in it? And second part of that question, people who may be considering it.
My advice to those who are in it, like we mentioned earlier, just plan ahead. That's the main thing, and watch how you spend out here, because you can end up spending your money before you earn it. The travel, food, and other things to eat it up. And so just be wise on that. How you gonna get to your next load, or how you gonna get home. And those who looking to get into it, I say do it. My cousin is thinking about getting into it now, and he said he's tired of waiting to be loaded, unloaded, tired of the wait stations and just other stuff like that. And, my brother, he does it, and he has to find somewhere to sleep, and all of them different things, the truck stop. And he's like, yeah, get into that. You got a little bit of freedom. You can plan your life. You can have a life. You want to take a week off, you can do that. You want to plan a vacation, you can do all those things.
Well, it sounds like you might be considering taking a week off next week, the 5 days in between the weekends, unless something really good comes along. Am I on the right path?
Oh yeah, definitely. Come along. I am going to take it.
I got you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Terrell Brickerson, thank you so much for joining us here on the Six Figure Trucker, brought to you by Norton Transport. I really enjoyed your time and really enjoy your outlook. Thanks for doing us a solid today. But thank you so much, Terrell, for joining us. And I'm going to leave the floor open to you. Anything you may want to say about the world of Driveaway, what it's brought to you, what it's meant to your family, and what you see moving forward.
I just want to say I want to first thank Norton Transport for giving me this opportunity to do Driveaway. Like I said, I love it. I love the open road. I love the freedom of making my own schedule and able to come home, spend time with my family. So I definitely see a bright future with Norton. I love it.
Well, Terrell, thank you so much. We love the time, the effort, and the professionalism you show us every day. We really enjoy what you do for us, and thanks for being on the show. All right, Terrell Brickerson here on the Six Figure Trucker, brought to you by Norton Transport. Thank you so much, Terrell.
Hey, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Six Figure Trucker is brought to you by Norton Transport. Norton Transport is a drive-away trucking company that customers can rely on. It offers excellent independent contract driving opportunities to professional, courteous, and qualified drivers that can provide the kind of service we deliver. If you're interested in learning more about Norton or just want to subscribe to the show, check out 6-figuretrucker.com. That's 6-figuretrucker.com.